Okay, so Bitcoin is holding very nicely. There is a lot of price strength, and Mars stock is also holding premium prices quite well. So, what's going on? I'm going to break that down, at least what I'm looking for. And on top of that, I did close a position earlier today. Here it is, the what it looks like before I closed it, and then here's the actual closing transaction. So, 50K invested into IBIT, a little over 1,300 profit locked in. I'm gonna explain why I got into it and why I got out. We did talk about it like a moment ago in the Discord. The market is still open as I record this. So just to get that part out the way real quick on the Bitcoin chart, we saw the price rally up quite a bit, breaking over this swing high. Chances are, I mean, it topped out not just over the swing high, but it topped out at the point 0.5 or breaking just over the point 0.5 retracement in this previous fib extension, 114.7K. To me, when I saw the price come down and the RSI broke below the median line without actually breaking into the red, I said to myself, chances are that, even if it does go into the red, it's going to be a quick recovery out of it because we have that momentum higher. I mean, we had um, a little bit of an uptrend forming leading over the swing high. So I got in um, and I got out. I told you guys earlier today, someone asked me, and I said on the Discord, if I see any price weakness in the overall retracement, which if you guys don't know, this is an overall retracement from the swing high, which is all-time high, all the way down to the lowest swing low, giving me this area. And I said, if I see any price weakness, um, at the 0.618 retracement at 118K, I'm just gonna get out because yes, the price can easily go up higher and it probably will. I mean, we're about to hit these value gaps right here. We're gonna try to fill these. Um, it's very likely the price can go up higher, but I am not a hopeful trader. I am not buying into this when I buy into it and being hopeful that it's gonna go up like crazy. There's always fluctuations. If my chart is telling me, hey, overall resistance maxes out at this area, 118K, and we're starting to see, the price trying to consolidate with the RSI is maxed out, I'm just gonna get out and I'm gonna lock in profit. Like there's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole reason of taking these short term trades. If I'm buying in at short term support and short term resistance is there, I'm out. I'm not a hopeful trader. So let's actually jump into this chart a little bit better, and we're gonna go into Mars stock as well right after. And then later into this week, probably even tomorrow, we'll see. I am going to also cover MSTR, and we'll look at what opportunities we have here as well. But yeah, remember, guys, everything I say in this video is just what I'm doing. I like to share with you guys what I'm doing. Please do your own research and your own due diligence, so you can make trades based off of what makes sense to you. But yeah, Bitcoin is going higher. I mean, October started today. It's expected to be a positive quarter. We got a really, really good start to it already. I mean, the price is going up a lot. It did break over the swing high right here at the previous swing high, like just over 118K briefly, and it broke below it. I mean, it could easily reverse down. We can reuse this retracement as a short-term accumulation opportunity. I mean, we're trending well above the 120 moving average. Any move down as the R or not the R side, as the 120 moving average goes higher, we can easily find support within the simple retracement. I'm not gonna really, I don't really like to focus on these like aggressive ascending support areas because it, it it's just factored in short-term noise. I'll rather focus on value structures using fibs rather than aggressive ascending support lines. But yeah, regardless, on the bigger picture, um, technically speaking, it's a good correction. I mean, we came down into a short-term accumulation. We I gave you guys this area ahead of time to be very cautious and potentially lock in some profit because we can reverse down. But we went into an accumulation TP. We came back down, actually creating a one more low from this one. So it's a nice corrective move, three-wave move down into these accumulation areas. We went up into resistance TP. We came down, reaccumulating within the previous accumulation area. Regardless, it went up into short-term resistance. So at this point, I mean, the price is nicely. I mean, the RSI can come down and try to bottom out, and it would also have an opportunity to form a higher low. But at this point, just because this rally was enough to break over, break over not just the discounted portions of the resistance, but the point 0.5. I said this many times before. If we can go just into the yellow resistance area, which is an overall retracement, if we can break into this, it creates the possibility of a higher low forming, much more probable than it not forming, and then us just coming down into short-term deep value. We did break into it, and we break over the 0.5 at 115.8k, basically 116k. So at this point, I'm honestly just expecting a higher low to form, if the price decides to correct right now. Today, leading into Thursday trading hours for the U.S. market. If we see a corrective move, chances are we're probably going to hold a higher low. And in that case, I'm looking at accumulating another short-term long position as of this moment within this red area. This is, it can easily go up higher, and then I'll just follow it higher with the price. But as of right now, because we did hit and we maximized short-term resistance, I have no reason to, hold on to any more short-term longs. It's just, it's just what makes sense to me. I would rather wait for the price to eventually come down into a retracement, and this would also allow the price to come back down and get closer to the 120 moving average. The 120 moving average is just, to me, it really gives you a better idea on how healthy things are, especially when the 120 moving average overlaps with a retracement support area for a higher low. It's a lot more nice than to just buy when it's high, and I mean, it's just, and we have resistance showing that, it's high probability that we have a small correction. So this can happen super quick. I mean, we can have this next long short-term long opportunity as soon as tomorrow potentially, but we'll see how it goes, right? So if you guys are wondering about how I trade this but still leave exposure for a continuation of a rest of a move, which is this, in this case, it's we're still in an uptrend in the bigger picture. In yesterday's video, I explained my strategy well enough, a summary of it. I'll be breaking down how I actually handle all this in more detailed videos. But if you guys watched yesterday's video, it'll give you a much better understanding of why I'm so good when it comes to, not letting emotion get to me in the short term, and I just lock in profit when we hit this resistance, and I have no reason to be hopeful. So yeah, a little over 1,300, not bad. For a trade I opened up I don't know, a couple days ago. I forget exactly when I opened it, but it was like 2 or 3 day long. It was like a 2 day long swing trade, I believe. Wait, how long ago was this? Actually, I think I opened it yesterday. It was like 1 to 2 day long swing trade. Either way, on Mara stock. So we can finally get into this one, because this is getting real interesting actually. So if you guys remember on a previous video, the last video we talked about Mara stock, I believe we also talked about MSTR on that one as well. But yeah, the very last, I think it was the one before yesterday. So on Monday, I kept saying hey, this rally, in my opinion, is very hyped based. I mean, this was when Nvidia was just pumping the market, a lot of influence, and I also said that, well, we had opportunities to trade a lot of these short-term accumulation with resistance being TP, but us breaking down without actually holding a higher low, a higher high, we broke down over this purple retracement from this entire move. So that indicates that hey, the bears may be stronger than the bulls, but then we had a very hyped move, and it maxed out. I mean, it did create a higher high, but it maxed out at this ascending resistance line that we've been keeping track of for a very long time, because, well, this resistance line, it's not just ascending, so it's fine to see this higher high, but it's a very weak candle wick. I mean, like it went up and it completely closed itself out within the same hour, and then it came down, breaking below. Um, if there was enough bullish momentum, we would have just seen a higher low form within the short term micro support, but instead it came down below it. It didn't break over the swing low yet, and the RSI could be more maxed out a bit more, but there's a lot of optimism in the market right now, so it's holding quite well. But basically, what I'm looking at right now is, we can easily finally hit this overall take profit area. I broke this down, this area starting at $20. I broke it down very much in detail with this value gap in this retracement area. I broke all this down in a lot of detail in previous videos, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But the idea is that every small higher high, it hasn't been very sustainable. And if I can, so we're gonna move this to the side a little bit. I'm gonna do this like this because it's going to it's gonna be a little bit easier to look at if it's not overlapping. I like to leave all this on there because I like to look back at my notes and what I'm looking at. This one we can delete. It went over it. It's actually it's the same as this. It's the same one. I just haven't moved that one up. So this was the same as the yellow. This one's just updated. So the idea here is that if there's going to be more bullish momentum, and this isn't like an accumulation area, this is a caution area. Because if you're like me, where you believe we'll come back down into the 16s, into the 15s, there's a lot of value right here, right now. Yes, there's strong volume right here, but it's due to primarily external hype influencing the stock. So I'm not taking this too seriously. What I'm looking at instead is the potential of the price coming down to the 120 moving averages, which right now is overlapping with the retracement. So the idea is, can we hold support somewhere between like $17 and $18? Are we going to consolidate within it? I mean, if we come down into this area and consolidate, will the RSI reset, or will the RSI show a good buying opportunity? It's very much possible as well that any move down into this area, so let's just say it comes down into, let's just say it goes to like revisits the value gap roughly 1750. It's very possible that the price can try to find a lower high and then finally come down to, because it was already on its way down, and then due to external hype in the market outside the stock, it influenced it to go higher and break over retracement resistance, and which was the value gap right here as well, around 1750, and it broke over it due to that. So I'm not like trying to be like negative or bearish. I do believe this stock can definitely go. I mean, I'm expecting the stock to break into the 20s sometime before the bull market ends. But the idea is that until we actually have solid bullish confirmation that's due purely to price structures within this chart and not due to external hype, then I'm being very cautious with it, because it's very possible we can just continue to fluctuate in these wide gaps, revisiting this area, and then back here will be a really, really nice buying opportunity around like 1550, for example. 1550 to like 1620, like this whole area down here, it's a really good, in my opinion, still a decent buying opportunity. But right now, I believe that we got to see a retracement from here. Mara stock is it fluctuates so aggressively, where when we have these giant moves, we usually tend to see them fill. But now, we have a bit more evidence of the structure being full at least, and now it's wanting to reset itself. That's simply the price going up into resistance, and then showing a lot of weakness, and then we saw a sell-off where it broke micro support. So now it's as simple as keeping an eye on the RSI. I'm just looking at it on 1 hour candles. I'm not going to be taking any trades on Mara right now. It does look like a good short to me, but I am more interested in seeing if the price can come down, if it's actually going to hold support, which at this moment, again, 17 to 18 bucks. If it's going to actually hold support, if it doesn't, it breaks below it. I'm looking at shorts. I'm looking at shorts with, simple TP being the value area that I mentioned down here. So basically, back down at the swing low will be a nice TP. But I'm not really looking at it. If we have enough momentum to the downside to break 1714, like for me, for example, a put 17 strike. If I buy it, if it happens this week and I buy it, I'm looking for like next Friday's expiration. So after this week, because I just want to be quick with it. To me, there's no reason to be on a 2 week long expiration for a put as 17 bucks. It's good enough for me, but that's what I plan on doing. If we have enough momentum to come down and break 1714, I'll be quickly looking at puts to try to finish filling this gap that was halted due to a hyped rally in the macroeconomic, just Nvidia pumping everything. So if this gap gets filled, I'll be taking profit. If not, and we hold and it rallies, I would not be taking any longs. For short-term longs, you guys already know about my overall accumulation area and then the overall TP area. Short-term profit shaving here worked out nicely. But if we can hold this and go higher, I'm not going to be taking any short-term longs. I'm just going to let the price do its thing. And if we start breaking over 20, I'll then be interested in slowly accumulating puts in this area. So I'm not really interested in taking any new short-term longs on Mara. I would rather let position sizing, risk management do its thing. If we can break below this area for shorting, if we go up, then I'm looking at shorting within this area. At this moment, I'm not very interested in being too aggressive with Mara, because even if Bitcoin starts rallying a lot, we've seen this many times in the past where Mara does not, it doesn't follow Bitcoin. It doesn't have to. It's not really correlated to it. There's a lot of stuff building up in the macro. I'm keeping very close eyes on economic data and what headlines are coming out, because I still believe Mara can go up. And then at that point, if we go into this area, then all of the more broader swing trade accumulation we had back here, take profit. Like, that's perfect. I'm not trying to be too aggressive in the short term. I'm going to let it play out. I would rather continue to hedge the overall swing trade with shorts. Of course, again, focus on position sizing, and that's the whole purpose of it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.